Hello friends, this is Ranjitha Mittal of KV number 2 Survey of India Dehradun. Today I'll discuss the 7th chapter of Introductory Macroeconomics of class 12, that is aggregate demand, aggregate supply and the related concepts. So let's start the chapter. In this chapter we will study the following points one after another, that is concepts and components of aggregate demand, concepts of aggregate supply, consumption function, saving function, and relationship between propensity to consume and propensity to save. So let's start with the first concept, that is concepts and components of aggregate demand. So aggregate demand. What is the meaning of aggregate demand? Actually, aggregate demand is the sum total of expenditure for demand that the people plan to incur on the purchase of goods and services produced in the economy during the year of an accounting year corresponding to their levels of income. मतलब एक इकोनॉमी में जो लोग हैं वो अपने लेवल ऑफ इनकम के अकॉर्डिंग जितनी भी गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज प्रोड्यूस हुई है उन पर जो खर्च करेंगे, मतलब जो वो प्लान कर रहे हैं उन पर खर्च करने के लिए इन एन अकाउंटिंग ईयर, उन सब का सम टोटल इट इज कॉल्ड एग्रीगेट डिमांड. We can easily see this in relation to the income, means the aggregate demand in relation to their level of income. हर व्यक्ति अपनी इनकम के लेवल के अकॉर्डिंग ही खर्च करता है. ठीक है, तो इन दिस शेड्यूल वी कैन सी Y which stand for income and aggregate demand which is equals to aggregate expenditure या planned expenditure जो हमने अभी इसकी definition में मीनिंग में उसको समझा था. So when the income is zero, aggregate demand is 30. Why is it so? Because अगर इनकम नहीं भी है, जीरो लेवल ऑफ इनकम में भी हमारी जो नीड्स है, रिक्वायरमेंट्स है, वो एग्जिस्ट करती हैं. सो एग्रीगेट डिमांड इट नेवर बी जीरो इवन एट जीरो लेवल ऑफ इनकम एंड इट इंक्रीजेस विद द लेवल ऑफ इनकम. जैसे जैसे इनकम बढ़ेगी एग्रीगेट डिमांड का लेवल भी हमारा इंक्रीज होता जाएगा. यू कैन सी that when income becomes 20, aggregate demand becomes 35. At 40, it becomes 40. यानी कि एक लेवल आएगा जब इनकम 40 और एग्रीगेट डिमांड भी 40, मतलब दोनों बराबर हो जाएंगे. और फिर धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे इनकम बढ़ेगी एग्रीगेट डिमांड भी बढ़ेगा, लेकिन उसका प्रोपोर्शन भी उसी के अकॉर्डिंग ही इंक्रीज होगा. There are some more observations from this diagram and schedule. First, 45-degree line indicates the level of income which is shown on x-axis. x-axis पे income show हो रही है और y-axis पर हमारा aggregate demand या aggregate expenditure को हम show कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर. तो 45-degree line जो है वो income को indicate कर रही है. क्यों? क्योंकि वो जैसे जैसे इनकम बढ़ रही है उतनी ही हमारी जो लेवल ऑफ इनकम है वो भी इंक्रीज होता हुआ हमें दिख रहा है. सेकेंड ऑब्जर्वेशन इज एडी इज इक्वल्स टू वाई एट पॉइंट ई. पॉइंट ई पर एडी विच इज सी प्लस आई, कंजम्पशन प्लस इन्वेस्टमेंट. तो जहां पर पॉइंट ई है इस पॉइंट पर एडी इज इक्वल्स टू वाई, दिस कर्व, और ये हो रहा है when income is 40. Third observation is prior to it means at the point E. इस point E से पहले AD aggregate demand curve is less than income. AD you can easily see कि AD is greater. aggregate demand curve जो blue line से show हो रहा है वो it is above the income line. और तो ये यानी कि यहाँ पे डिमांड ज्यादा है और इनकम कम है, जो कि हमारा 0, 30, इनकम 20 to 35 यहाँ तक शो हो रहा है. एट पॉइंट ई दिस इज 40 and 40. This is because of impact of minimum level of aggregate demand. Beyond this point E, we find that AD curve becomes less than income. AD कर्व जो है हमारा ब्लू लाइन से वो आप पॉइंट ई के बाद देखें कि नीचे आ रहा है एंड इनकम कर्व becomes greater. This is because at higher level of income people start saving a part of their income. कि जैसे जैसे इनकम ज्यादा होती जाती है तो हम क्या करते हैं पूरी इनकम को कंज्यूम ना करके जो बचा हुआ पार्ट है उसको सेव कर देते हैं. दैट इज कॉल्ड अवर सेविंग. द मिनिमम लेवल ऑफ एडी इज इक्वल 30. यहाँ पर आप दिख रहा है मिनिमम लेवल ऑफ एडी यानी कि जीरो से जो इंडिकेट हो रहा है इट इज 30. दिस indicates expenditure independent of the level of income in the economy. Now let's discuss the components of AD for aggregate demand. First we have to discuss in closed economy. Closed economy में हम पहले two sector then we'll discuss it in three sector. So in a two sector closed economy there are two components which includes household sector, that is consumption, household consumption expenditure, and the second is producer sector, that is I, which is producers investment expenditure. So closed economy, two sector closed economy में अगर हम C plus I करें तो it will be equals to aggregate demand. In three sector economy, three sector closed economy, it consists of household sector C, producer sector I, and government sector G. So in a three sector closed economy, AD is equals to consumption, household consumption expenditure, producers investment expenditure, and government expenditure for both consumption and investment. Now in an open economy एक wider term है जो closed economy in two and three sector plus the rest of the world. So इसको हम formula wise देखें तो AD is equals to C, that is household consumption expenditure, plus I, that is producers investment expenditure, and G, government expenditure for both consumption and investment, plus the rest of the world, which is indicated by net export. So here X stand for exports minus imports. The second concept of this chapter is aggregate supply. Aggregate supply refers to flow of goods and services as planned by the producers during an accounting year. मतलब एक accounting year में producers जितने भी goods and services को produce करने का plan कर रहे हैं और उसका economy में flow होगा, that उन सब का sum total, it is called aggregate supply. It is identical with the flow of income during an accounting year. और ये income के identical होगा क्योंकि जितनी ज़्यादा goods and services produce की जाएंगी, flow की जाएंगी, उतना ज़्यादा income generate होगा. AS and Y therefore may be treated as identical to each other. We can understand the behavior of aggregate supply with different levels of income with the help of this schedule Y and S. You can see they are positively related to each other. As the income increases, aggregate supply is also increasing in the same manner. So they are symmetrical or symmetrical to each other or identical to each other. और यही वजह है कि जो आपका y कर्व है या AS कर्व है, it is 45-degree line from its origin. Many times this question is asked that why AS line happens to be 45-degree line, या why it is called a line of reference or identical to y axis. तो इसका उसका सीधा सा आंसर यही, सिंपल सा आंसर यही है कि दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ AS on the y-axis is identical with income on the x-axis. The next concept which we have to study is consumption function. As income का एक बहुत बड़ा पार्ट हम क्या करते हैं, हम कंज्यूम करते हैं. So at different level of income, what is the level of consumption? The functional relationship between these two, consumption and income, it is called consumption function. It is directly related to the level of income. Consumption और income दोनों आपस में डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड हैं. जैसे जैसे इनकम बढ़ेगी वैसे वैसे कंजम्पशन बढ़ेगा, और इनकम अगर रिड्यूस होती है तो लेवल ऑफ कंजम्पशन भी साथ साथ रिड्यूस होगा. जैसा कि हम इस टेबल में देख रहे हैं, दिस इज टेबुलर प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ कंजम्पशन फंक्शन. यू कैन सी at zero level consumption is 20, जो हमने पहले बात करी थी. In graph also you can see this is the consumption curve starting from y-axis at the point 20 where it is the 20 zero level income पर consumption 20 है. This is called autonomous consumption, and as the income increases consumption also increases. Like at the second stage when income becomes 50, consumption is also 60. तो ये जो कंडीशन है ये यहाँ है, second when income is 50 at the point A consumption is 60. मतलब still the income is less, consumption is higher than that. Then at the third stage it is where income and consumption both becomes equal. At the point where जितना हम इनकम हो रही है उतना ही, this is the point, उतना ही हम कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं. This is also called break even point where income is equals to the consumption. And after this break even point what happens? People start saving because their income increases. उनकी consumption जो है, consumption करने के बाद भी some part of income is left, which is called their saving. So the same points I have written here as the observation from the above table and the diagram. First, there is always some minimum level of consumption even when y is equals to 0. This is called autonomous consumption. This leads to negative saving, that is minus s. यानी कि यहाँ पे ये पॉइंट पर जहाँ पे ऑटोनॉमस कंजम्पशन होता है, ये पॉइंट क्या है, माइनस सेविंग. हम इसको कह सकते हैं कि सेविंग हमारी यहाँ पे क्या होती है, नेगेटिव्स में होती है. सेकेंड पॉइंट, कंजम्पशन इज पॉजिटिवली रिलेटेड टू इनकम. rise in income causes a rise in consumption and vice versa. Third line, consumption line crosses income line at a point where total consumption is equals to total income. It is called break even point. जो अभी हमने डिस्कस किया, that is the point B where total income 100 is equals to total consumption, that is also 100. And the fourth point, the entire increase in Y during a particular period is not covered into C, consumption. A part of it is saved as well. यानी कि after the break even point कुछ जो है saving जो है वो बच जाती है, क्योंकि income पूरी कंज्यूम नहीं हो पाती, तो बचा हुआ पार्ट it is called the saving. Now let's discuss the slope of consumption line or consumption function. The slope of this C line is indicated by marginal propensity to consume. It is measured as the ratio between increase in consumption and increase in income. Marginal propensity to consume shows consumption per unit of additional income. हर यूनिट पर कितनी और इनकम बढ़ी और उससे कंजम्पशन पर क्या इफेक्ट पड़ा. दिस इज कॉल्ड marginal propensity to consume, and the formula to calculate it is a change in consumption divided by change in income. This is the diagrammatic presentation of estimation of MPC, that is the slope of consumption line. We can see that when income is 100 and it increases to 150. So between 100 to 150 there is increase in income of 50. So due to increase in income there is increase in consumption also. जैसे income बढ़ेगी consumption भी बढ़ेगा. They are positively related. तो वो कितनी बढ़ रही है? Consumption increases to 40. So delta C, change increase in consumption upon increase in income, 40 upon 50. The MPC, marginal propensity to consume, becomes 0.8. The second concept of consumption function, it is average propensity to consume. It indicates the ratio between total consumption and total income. मतलब पर यूनिट ऑफ इनकम उस पे हम अगर इसको ऑन एन एवरेज निकालें तो इट इज कॉल्ड एवरेज प्रोपेंसिटी टू कंज्यूम एंड द फॉर्मूला इज सिंपली कंजम्पशन डिवाइडेड बाय द इनकम. फॉर इंस्टेंस, if the income is 150 and consumption is 140, so APC will be 140 divided by 150 and the answer will be 0.933. Now coming next to algebraic presentation of consumption function, so on which many numericals are based on it. So consumption function को numerically या algebraical form में हम इसको present करते हैं C bar plus dy. C bar stands for autonomous consumption which exists at zero level of income. D stands for MPC, that is marginal propensity to consume, which is calculated as delta C upon delta Y, and Y is the income level. I have solved a numerical example for you. So it is a numerical where we have to find C, consumption function, and the given is C bar, autonomous consumption is 200, MPC is 0.5 and income is 1000. So we know the equation of consumption function, it is C bar plus dy. So by substituting the value in this, we get the consumption function as 700. The next important concept of this chapter is saving function. We know that income is equals to consumption plus saving. Either the income part of it is consumed or it will be saved. So saving function is important. So income is either consumed or saved so that y equals to c plus s. So what is consumption function? The functional relationship between s means saving and income is called saving function. इस सेविंग फंक्शन को समझने के लिए कि सेविंग फंक्शन कहाँ से स्टार्ट होता है, तो फर्स्ट हमें कंजम्पशन फंक्शन को समझना है, जो हमने ऑलरेडी अभी ऊपर इसको एक्सप्लेन किया है मैंने, जहाँ पे y level of different level of income is 0, 50, 100 and 150 and consumption is 20, 60, 100 and 140. So at 0 level consumption is 20, which is autonomous consumption, and when income is 100 consumption is also 100, this is the point, break even point. और उसके बाद this is the condition of after break even, when this is 150, income is 150 and consumption is 140. So as we know, income is equals to consumption plus saving. So if we have to find the value of saving, so saving must be equals to income minus consumption. So at different level of income, it is here same in saving function we have taken in this table 0, 50, 100 and 150. So saving will be at 0 level, y is 0 and consumption is 20. So 0 minus 20, saving will be minus 20. So you can see the origin of saving curve is from the negative side of this y-axis minus 20. Then when income becomes 150, saving becomes minus 10. क्योंकि यहाँ पे income हमारी 50 है और कंजम्पशन 50 में 50 income पर consumption is 60. So 50 minus 60 it becomes minus 10. Then at the third level when income is 100 and consumption is also 100. So when जो कि ये वाला हमारा ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट भी है, तो जहाँ पे ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट है वहाँ पे सेविंग इज इक्वल्स टू 0. सो दिस इज द पॉइंट जहाँ पे सेविंग एक्स एक्सिस को इंटरसेक्ट कर रही है एट 100. दिस इज द पॉइंट ऑफ ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट एंड आफ्टर दिस पॉइंट saving becomes positive. These are the observations from the above diagram that saving line starts from minus 20. So yes, it is starting from yes, it is starting from minus 20. Because when y is equals to 0 and consumption is equals to 20, then saving must be equals to minus 20, जो अभी कैलकुलेशन हमने यहाँ पे टेबल में किया था. Second observation is saving line crosses y axis when y is equals to 100. Saving line income line को कहाँ क्रॉस कर रही है? जब income is 100, which is the break even point. And third observation, saving line is positively sloped, indicating that saving is positively related to y. जितनी ज़्यादा income होगी उतनी ज़्यादा saving होगी. So saving and income are also positively related to each other. Now let's understand the slope of saving line or saving function. The slope of saving line depends on the marginal propensity to save. It refers to the rate at which saving increases in response to a give increase in income. It is measured as the ratio between additional saving or increase in saving and increase in income. So it is marginal propensity to save. It is calculated as delta S or increase in saving divided by increase in income. You can see in this diagram where at this point, break even point, income is 100 and it increases to 150. So 100 to 150, there is an increase in income by 50. Due to this increase in income, saving will also increase as they are positively related. So it increases to 10. So MPS will be delta S upon delta Y, which is equals to 0.2. The second concept of saving function is average propensity to save. Average propensity to save is the ratio between total saving and total income. It shows saving per unit of total income. Per unit पे इसको हम saving को total करें तो simply it will be again saving divided by income. For example, if income is 150 and saving is 10, so average propensity to save will be saving upon income, that is 10 upon 150, and whatever the answer will be, here it is 0.067. This saving function is presented in algebraic form also, on which numericals are where we have to solve from this chapter. So saving function, it is equals to minus C bar. Minus C bar इसलिए क्योंकि ये just saving जो है हमारी नेगेटिव से स्टार्ट होती है जहाँ पर कंजम्पशन ऑटोनोमस कंजम्पशन होता है. So it is minus C bar plus 1 minus B. B stands for marginal propensity to consume. So 1 minus MPC into income. So this is the algebraic presentation of saving function. Now the relationship between propensity to consume and propensity to save. Propensity to consume refers to the ratio between consumption and income. कंजम्पशन और इनकम में किस तरह का रिलेशन है वो दैट इज कॉल्ड प्रोपेंसिटी टू कंज्यूम. So it is it has two aspects, APC and MPC, which we have discussed above. APC equals to C upon Y and MPC is equals to delta C upon delta Y. On the other hand, propensity to save, it refers to the ratio between saving and income. It has two aspects, average propensity to save, which is equals to saving divided by income, and marginal propensity to save, which is equals to increase in saving divided by increase in income. The relationship between propensity to save and propensity to consume is expressed as in the following equation. APC plus APS is equals to 1, and second, MPC plus MPS is equals to 1. So these numericals, these formulas or these relationships are mostly used in the numericals from this chapter. So friends, these were some important aspects related to this chapter. I hope you understand it. Thank you.